Everyone, welcome back. Today we want to take a look at Tesla. Tesla, $30 trillion future. The Tesla CEO Elon Musk says that the company could be worth $30 trillion one day. The Tesla CEO compared cutting costs to washing dishes and floated an AWS style cloud business. So here's a roundup of Musk's 12 best quotes from the EV market's annual meeting on Thursday. He also predicted that robot companions would become the default and flagged challenges such as rising US-China tensions and a tougher electric vehicle market. The CEO spoke at his company annual meeting in Austin on Thursday. Musk thanked shareholders for approving the controversial $56 billion pay package. And he also suggested that Tesla could eliminate Amazon's cloud computing business. Let me get one thing completely straight. I absolutely agree with that. Tesla could seriously compete with Amazon cloud business. Now, you see, Amazon had to adapt to the cloud business. In fact, it was almost like perfect timing for Amazon to get involved with that business. It has never really been default within Amazon nature to be a technological company. They had to adapt to become a technological company. However, Tesla has been working on technology-based systems and softwares for a very long time. I do think Tesla could do very well in the cloud business. And I suppose that the nice thing about Tesla is that they have an openness to try new businesses. And this openness to try new businesses that are flourishing, I think this will serve the company very well because Amazon, it was perfect timing with AWS. Simply because the cloud business was taken off. It was getting bigger and bigger, and it continues to grow. It's not slowing down, so there's a lot more possibilities. There's a lot more room to fall. There's a lot more room. There's a lot more real estate in the cloud business. It is something that I think Tesla could maneuver very well. So here's an important statement from Elon Musk, and I quote, "I think it's actually conceivable. It's within the realm of possibility for Tesla to achieve a valuation 10 times that of the most valuable companies today." So with this comment, it basically implied Tesla having a $30 trillion valuation or 10 times the market cap value of Apple. And let me just say that's not out of the realms of possibilities because look at what they've already accomplished. And by the looks of it, they don't have any intentions on slowing down. In fact, they don't want to remain as an electric vehicle company. They've already started doing manufacturing and prototyping and testing of their robot, which would be incredibly valuable, by the way. Not just that, but the software that this robot is ran on, that'd be incredibly exciting. Except for Boston Dynamics and Tesla, there's a few others in the US, but it is so few companies that are pursuing robotics, seriously, on a serious basis. On the other hand, you've got Tesla's very incredible driving software. These are all their own IP, so I can see Tesla wanting to invest in more areas like cloud computing. In fact, I look forward to seeing when they can start that. And Tesla they've actually built a refinery in the last couple of years. So there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes at Tesla, and there's a lot of things going on in the public's eye. But something that the public still doesn't realize is that this is not just a car company. It's a technology company, but it's a technology company that's willing to build any and every technology, especially technology that are new to the world. And they're very good at building these things. You can only imagine, yes, $30 trillion valuation is not out of the question. He didn't say when. It could take 20 years, it could take 30 years, it could take 40 years, but is it possible? Of course it's possible. If they continue with the way that they're producing technology and investing in research, it is definitely possible. For one thing, with the current path that Tesla is going on right now, $10 billion in market cap is assured. It's guaranteed. It's just a matter of time. And that's not just from selling vehicles, because I think they know now this market is incredibly competitive. We can build great vehicles, but there's other ways to make money, such as cloud computing, such as robotics, such as self-driving software, such as robotaxi. We're building cars, we're building self-driving software. Why not build robotaxis? Yes, I would say Elon is definitely right. Now, he did went on to say, It is a hard problem. I have to say, there's quite a lot of brain damage required to be good at cell manufacturing. It's like a brain damage high. He then went on to say, Amazon Web Services became more valuable than the entire rest of Amazon. This is true. This is true. They had to adapt to become a technology company. But because they were perfect on the timing, it serves them really good purposes because there was a void. There was a void. There wasn't a big company that was just instantly known for cloud services. Now it's Amazon. I think Microsoft has their own. I think Google has their own, but Apple hasn't actually gone into this area yet, which still to be seen. But you can see Tesla's already they're already throwing their hat in the ring. They're already like, yeah, we're looking at that, and most likely we will do it. It's just a matter of time. So you can only imagine, if this company really continues with all the projects that they've got ongoing, wow, it's going to be mega. You continue to say, I think there's some kind of opportunities there's pretty significant for Tesla down the road. Nobody's really factoring in that. Musk was envisioning renting out the spare computing power from a fleet of 100 million Tesla vehicles. Holy crap. Yeah, especially if the Tesla computers in the vehicles are modular, which means that the systems can be repaired or upgraded or replaced modularly. Instead of taking a car completely apart, it's more like a simple swap in and out. If they can go into the modularity aspects, then yes, you'll have millions of Teslas driving around and their computers on wheels. Free to do cloud services for Tesla in the background of so you've sold a car. So you've sold a car, but it's making you money in so many ways. The customer don't even know. So I could buy a Tesla car and it could be making the company money and I have no idea. So I'm sure there'll be some conversations around that on whether this should be allowed for Tesla to do. But my mamma mia. I love the way they're thinking, but I haven't really seen many companies invest in modularity in their vehicles, especially with the software hardware system. And that's mostly because they want to make it easy as possible for people to buy a new car, not to just swap out the system, but they want people to buy a new car. So building these cars to last forever were never the plan. It was never the plan. The plan is build them as cheaply as possible and get them to make you money in all sorts of ways. Robotaxi, cloud computing. You get where I'm going with this? And the customer has already bought the vehicle. Do you get where I'm going with this? Providing Tesla with lots of data in return. Do you get where I'm going with this? Yeah, it's certainly exciting. So you got onto the point of mentioning the lack of demand in the EV space. And he said, it's tough sledding out there for EVs. Almost every manufacturer has announced reduction in their electric vehicle plans. Now, Tesla, we're going to increase, but it's not an easy market. And I'm glad they see that because they're up to, this market is making Tesla stronger and stronger. It's really competitive, but it's making Tesla stronger and stronger because every moment of every single day, they're optimizing for efficiency. They're finding new ways to cut costs. They're building more vehicles to cut costs. So even if the market of electric vehicles did return to its heights of maybe 2021, 2022, Tesla will still be ahead of everyone, because they've optimized so much for efficiency. Good luck catching up. The best you can do right now, if you're Rivian, Polestar, Lucid, the best you can do right now is optimize for efficiency as much as possible and gather as much funding as possible. But the key thing here, do something similar to what Lucid is doing. Lucid has actually begun, you know, using their IP to fund the company. In other words, sell your motors to Aston Martin and other companies that are interested in it. Rivian is now doing something similar. They've created a partnership with Volkswagen. This partnership is purely built upon the Rivian IP, the intellectual property of Rivian. They're able to, create these partnerships and get funding because Rivian has great technology and provide this technology to VW in return of funding. So if these companies continue doing this, I think they can probably survive this competitive EV market because this is a great way to get funding. It's to use your IP, but it's such a risky business. That is such a risky business because Volkswagen is going to end up owning a large percentage of Rivian, anywhere from 10 to 20%, if not more, in my opinion, because they're investing quite a few $1 billion. They're investing quite a lot. Musk went on to say there's enough lithium refining if you count China. If there's a geopolitical challenge on the front, then there may be a shortage of lithium. I think it's pretty important to be careful with geopolitic risk and just to make sure that in the worst case situation that Tesla's okay. So that's their priority is how do we secure our lithium source? How do we secure our lithium refinery? So they're building a refinery and that was the first step. But also how do you secure your lithium source? At the moment, where exactly is Tesla getting their lithium source from? I'll tell you one thing. This is probably the most difficult question to ask Google. Hey Google, where are these companies getting their lithium from? Okay, some might say Chile, Australia, it's all over. But okay, problem with that is that it's highly expensive. Where they getting the rest of their lithium from? Oh, then the question becomes controversial. Yeah, not just Tesla, but Apple, China company, all kinds of companies. Where are they getting their lithium from? Because you can only produce so much in your own state. You can only buy so much from a competitor or from another country. These companies are trying to find the cheapest way to source lithium, and I think you already know what that is. So when he's speaking of geopolitics, he's not just speaking of acquiring lithium from other countries, but how do you get it from those other countries? Sourcing it. Oh, it's a dirty business. And that's probably why we're seeing Tesla investing so much more into other technologies because they're starting to realize that this business is not as straightforward as you once thought. If you really want to build 10 million vehicles a year, where the hell are you going to get that lithium from? Every year? Yeah, where the hell are you going to get that lithium from? So they're starting to realize, you know what, we need to optimize for efficiency in other businesses like creating competitive business to the Amazon AWS, like creating a robot, like creating a robo taxi. We need other ways to bring us income because lithium is never a guarantee. Because it's such a challenge in businesses, you know, anything that the largest place that they're getting lithium from right now, if anything happens, okay, that's it. You're out. Or the price goes up and it's like, oh, I can't afford that. I can't buy your lithium because it's too expensive. Oh, that's the price. That's a complicated business. Now, on the other hand, we've got an article from Monty Fool. Elon says you shouldn't invest in Tesla stock unless you believe this one thing about the future. Elon says the key to Tesla future is the autonomous fleet of taxis. Some investors believe up to 75% of the upside for Tesla stock is riding on the autonomous taxi future. Tesla has the technology, but even if approved, it's unlikely the company could scale and reach its massive estimated overnight. Well, of course, we're not trying to accomplish this overnight. This kind of business, especially the autonomous taxi business, it pays dividends. It's the kind of business that you have to work on compounding. Okay, if you can get 100,000 taxis, autonomous taxis on the road each year, 10 years, that's a million. That's quite significant actually. That's quite significant. Now in Tesla, they can do a lot better than that. Okay, so if you can get 500,000 taxis on the year, okay, so if you can get 500,000 taxis on the road each year, that's 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 a million every 2 years. So literally 10 years, that's 5 million taxis. So Tesla will certainly ramp this up over time. It will just continue to feed itself over time. But why stop there? That's not the only transportation people rely on. People rely on buses, people rely on trains, people rely on airplanes. Honestly, the world is slowly edging towards robotics, and a lot of these companies are racing to AI. And then they're racing to autonomy as well. So where do you think that's going to go? AI and autonomy. What are they going to do with those two things? Are they going to put them together? So essentially, the world is slowly replacing humans with robots. So if I were you, I would learn a second skill. So few companies can remember now. This is a look at Tesla stock. Its height, was between 2021 and 2022. So it's probably around January 2022 or December 2021. But that was the height of the Tesla stock. So it's definitely trended downwards since then. It's definitely trended downwards, which is good for everyday investors like myself. Not financial advice, it's just my opinion. But while Tesla is investing its time in robotaxis, autonomy software, robots, is Amazon AWS competitor, while the market continued to be incredibly competitive for Tesla and other, electric vehicle companies, the Tesla stock will remain kind of cheap, and that's good for us. We shouldn't be complaining. We should be excited. So, fund manager Kathy Wood, founder of ARK Invest, which is notorious bullish when it comes to Tesla stock, in 2023, the investment firm puts a stake in the ground, expecting the stock could hit 2,000 by 2027. Okay, so 2024, 2025, 2026, 2027, that's 4 years away. We're not that far away from that. So, what exactly is going to change in Tesla for the company to accomplish 2,000? $2,000 per stock. What exactly is going to change in this company? For one, we'll have robotaxi by then, for sure. Maybe not in huge quantities, but we will have robotaxis in some cities. We will probably be in the final prototyping stage for the Tesla robot, in my opinion. In terms of the Amazon AWS, honestly, they could probably start that business within the next, yeah, they could start that business by then. Certainly, that's 3 to 4 years away. Well, probably take the longest is probably the Tesla robot, but AWS competitor, yeah, they can get that started this year. They can get that started next year. Seriously, I'm excited for it. You should be as well if you're a Tesla enthusiast. Here's another crazy thing. Just before we end this video, the benefits of the robotaxi system is that it will incentivize people to buy a Tesla vehicle. So if you're not already incentivized to buy a Tesla, okay, you're going to be even more incentivized to buy a Tesla. Musk said that owners who add their vehicle to the network could make between $10,000 to $30,000 per year, offsetting the cost of the ownership. So it's basically you're getting a car for free and it just runs itself. This is exciting for many reasons, not just because I would like to try this, but also because I'd like to see other people try it. And how are they gonna? This is gonna change the world. Okay, so are you also gonna buy a Tesla robot and just get it to do all of your work? Oh, now it can do all of your work. It can just work for you. Whatever business you operate, you could run a farm. I don't know what business you operate, but if your robot is able to do that business, it could just work for you, offsetting the price of the robot. You probably haven't thought this far ahead, but I certainly am. Because this is how Tesla work. When they talk about buy a Tesla, you're incentivized. It will pay for itself. It will work for itself. Your car would work for itself every year. $10,000 to $30,000 every year. Your car will pay for itself. I'm sorry, what? Next, they're going to tell you that the robot is going to pay for itself. Oh, do you need assistance in the work that you do? This robot will pay for itself. In business, that's what it is. Look at any sort of business that buy hardware. If you're a company that buys graphics card, when you buy graphics card, you're always thinking it should pay for itself. If you're a bus company, the buses should pay for themselves because they will be carrying people. If you buy trains, they will pay for themselves. If you buy planes, they will pay for themselves because they're carrying people who paid, offsetting the price of the commodity. It would pay for itself. And this is the incredible tool that Tesla will use to sell the robotaxi even more and sell Tesla vehicles in the process, and probably to sell robots as well. These robots could be highly efficient in various different tasks. They might target niche audiences first. They might target niche audiences at first, probably warehouses, probably more construction work, probably more farming work. Before they go domestics, they will probably target more hardcore work. But listen, that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to see more. But I'm a heavy believer in this. And I've said it once before and I'll say it again. Uber, they shouldn't have given up on their self-driving software, their self-driving project that they were working on. They shouldn't have given up. They gave up way too soon. And this often happens. This often happens. Uber should not have given up. They should have bought more companies to help them accomplish this goal. Rimac is doing that now. Rimac created a company to compete with Tesla Robotaxi. It's called Verne. This is a look for yourself. I'm pretty sure you've heard about this. Rimac debuts Verne, a new autonomous taxi prototype coming to Europe in 2026. I wrote this article recently. Check it out. It's on Monument. There will be a link in the description. But, this is a huge mark. This is a huge move for Rivian. So this this is a huge move for Rimac, and I think Uber could have did something similar. They could have invested in a company like this. The possibilities are endless. Uber is a taxi company. All you need is a company to manufacture your own vehicles. And it doesn't need to be millions of vehicles because it's a taxi. It needs to be hundreds of thousands, which is very much possible if you have the right manufacturing facility. Rimac and Verne is currently building their manufacturing facility in Croatia. It's already being built. So this is coming to Europe in 2026. This is literally 2 years away, 3 years away. That's it. By the time we get this, there will already be some robo taxis from Tesla on the roads. So it's going to get competitive in this place, and they're not the only ones targeting this. Thank you for watching, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.